something. I'm really glad we're doing this for a number of reasons, but most of which I have really sucked at being a podcaster lately. Matter of fact, as we sit here, this is the day after Thanksgiving. This is the 27th. And I've still got another October episode recorded that I haven't released yet.
You could take it two ways. Just like you're like being terrible at it, or you're super prepared. You know,
I'm prepared for Halloween next year.
I'm an episode ahead. I just haven't, posted it yet.
There you go. I'm so far ahead that I haven't published anything since November the 1st. And I wanted all of the Halloween stuff to come out in October. And this is the best one, and I haven't released it yet. But the good news is, the long-lost Star Wars podcast, you're going to transfer over to me tonight, and I'm going to release it on our Patreon.
Even I forgot about that episode.
No, okay, this was so long ago. Which Star Wars movie were we talking about? It was one of the last two.
It was the last one. The
Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker. Because I do remember saying that I compared it to the Dumb and Dumber movie, where it says, just when I thought you couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this.
And totally
redeem yourself. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we had been recording vocals for the new Killjoy EP. We probably need to finish, by the way.
Another thing on the to-do list.
Yeah, I got a long list. We had just done vocals that day, and you were like, we started talking about Star Wars because we had both just watched it, and you were like, "Hey, we got this shit set up to record. Let's just have a seat.
The mics are hot. Go for it.
The mics are hot. Jump on." Oh, and by the way, if our listeners hear a very, very obvious increase in quality of this episode, it's because Rob brought his gear, so we're not using my setup over here on the computer. He brought his laptop.
I was just anxious to play with toys.
Yeah, we got preamps.
Preamps.
I don't know exactly what that does, but I mean, it's got to be something cool.
They amp before the amp.
Yeah.
Preamps.
Says it in the name. But yeah, we'll have that coming out, and I'm just going to put that on our lowest entry level of basically anybody that's a patron will see that episode, and it'll be out there. And then I got another episode, a short one me and Anthony recorded this weekend that's going to go up on the Patreon page. So there'll be a lot of good content coming out for our patrons really soon. And today we have a lot of stuff from the Seeking 7 camp to talk about. We got a song we're going to play. We're going to talk about the video. But before we get to that, being it is the day after Thanksgiving, how did your Thanksgiving go?
Oh, it went by super fast. It was, everybody's, COVID has ruined everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But I think we're at the point now, even as a society, where we're like, it's not ruining Thanksgiving. So we did have a family meal. It wasn't the full extended family, but it was still great, and getting to see everybody, because it feels like we've been locked away in our houses for months and months, which we kind of have. So yeah, it was really good. Just the day went by really fast.
I had like 3 Thanksgivings. Me and Alicia were talking earlier. We were kind of going through a grocery list because we cooked so much food, and you realize we cooked like well over 75 eggs. Because she went and got the 15 dozen box, and there's like 2 or 3 flats left. And
what'd you do with all deviled eggs, or just like?
We made a lot of dressing, a lot of deviled eggs.
Like ingredients and things.
Putting eggs in cornbread to make dressing, and I made a lot of cornbread. She made a lot of dressing.
We had 2 Thanksgivings ourselves. My nephew left last weekend to Air Force boot camp. So my sister wanted to do an early Thanksgiving so that he could be involved. And so my assignment for that meal was the turkey, and then we started making the turkey, and about halfway through it, my oven decides to quit. So we had to rush the turkey over to my sister's house and use her oven. But then for Thanksgiving Day, I got reassigned turkey again. And so I woke up at 4, literally, and threw the turkey on the smoker, and it turned out fantastic. So,
dude, I smoked a turkey one time. But I learned a little secret this year that I'll share with everybody. For like $5 extra, go to Sam's and buy the smoked turkey that's already been smoked. Because I thought, like, my mom cooks a big spread, and we all bring stuff. But they got to where they didn't want to do the ham and the turkey and the dressing, so they would outsource it. They would get like caterers or whoever to make it. And so I thought the smoked turkey that Dad always gets, that he got one of his friends or somebody to do it. Like, he hired somebody to smoke a turkey for him. But come to find out, he gets them at Sam's for like $26, and they're good.
I would have kept that secret.
They're really good. Yeah, they're gonna sell out now. I'm not gonna be able to get one.
I would even buy a smoker and have it like, on
but sleeping all day over the smoker.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the money, it's not that much more than buying the actual turkey, and it's already done. All you do is stick in the oven for like an hour to heat it up and serve it, and it's delicious.
Oh, that's great. I might do that.
How do you do yours in the oven? You just put it in a pot, or do you do the bag thing? Or
no, well, we're going to turn this into the cooking network, but that's okay.
That's okay.
I love to cook, by the way.
I do too.
So it's like a passion of mine. It's a stress reliever. To really get a good juicy turkey, you have to brine it. That's really the secret, So I made up this brining concoction, and it doesn't smell very pleasant, but it works really great. And I soak it in that for at least 24 hours. As far as throwing it in an oven, probably about 3.5, maybe 4 hours. I'm talking about a 16-pound turkey here, the biggest one they have. And then for smoking, I started at 4 in, and it was ready right at 11.
Oh wow!
So it had to smoke that long, low and slow.
Yeah, because smoking turkey's nothing like smoking like a big chunk of beef, because it's hollow. It can dry out really easily if you try to get too anxious with it. You can't treat it with the same temperatures and stuff like that. If you brine
a turkey, and then the fact that it's still on the bone, you don't really have to worry about drying out as bad.
Yeah, brining's definitely the way to go. I'm a little too lazy, so I'd inject mine with butter sauce. Yeah, which is like the poor man's brining, I guess you'd say. I
take this butter, parsley, and garlic kind of mixture, and we get up under the skin with it. It's kind of gross to do, but it makes a big difference. So you get up underneath the skin with this mixture of butter and parsley and garlic, and then you get it on the outside as well, and it comes out. Everybody asks the secret of why mine are so juicy. So there you go.
The white meat, the white meat on turkey can be a little dry for my taste, but yeah, doing them that way, and you'd be surprised how much you can get in a turkey. Like when I get done injecting one, it looks like it's been working out. Like it's all buffed and jacked. It's like the Hulk of turkey. All right, we'll quit talking about food. I could do a whole podcast on cooking and smoking and go to Sam's.
Turkey sandwich.
So another thing I wanted to address that's kind of hot on the fire still is how are you caught up on the Mandalorian?
All the way.
All the way.
I mean, it sucks when you watch it on a Friday, because 7 days is a long time.
But it keeps you from having to see spoilers on Facebook. And I even got a spoiler on the first season of Mandalorian. I got a spoiler on Yahoo News.
Really?
Yeah, this wasn't like somebody just talking in a news on a feed or whatever. This was like a headline. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's spoilers everywhere, and I like to be, I like that oh shit moment. You know?
Well, I did the jerk thing today, and I posted a spoiler about it. But at least with my spoiler, if you read it, you would not know what it is at all. But once you see the Mandalorian, this episode, you'd be like, okay.
There is a character,
but it was still a spoiler.
There's a character, and I haven't looked it up yet, this season, that's in costume, so you can't tell who it is, but I distinctly recognize the voice. And I was meant to look it up and see who that is playing that role.
Which one?
One of the it was the last episode. It was one of the alien dudes that was. Well, I can't say that without double crossing.
He was in the first episode too, right? He came back from the blue guy, the Gills, has a...
No, not him. He's cool. I like him. Yeah, I'm glad he came back. And another thing that was cool to see is Sasha Banks, the wrestler, was in the last episode I watched. Yeah. And of course, in the first season, Bill Burr, I was surprised to see him, and Gus from Breaking Bad is Moff Gideon, the big bad, I guess, of this series, or at least one of the big bads.
Hasn't played a huge role yet, but he's there. It's like it's coming.
Yeah. And they say that the dark saber that he uses is there's a lot of stuff about it in the extended universe of Star Wars, but it's never been touched upon on screen before till now.
Well, what really makes The Mandalorian great is pulling little nuggets from all over the place, from the prequels to the side chapters like Solo and Rogue One, from the Skywalker's episodes from everywhere, even Star Wars Rebels it has referenced, even of course the Clone Wars. Even not to give away a spoiler, but you got a glimpse of Boba Fett in the very last episode at the very end. Not today's episode, but
in season 1,
or no, it was no season 2. No, it was the first episode of season 2. Forgive me on that. Yeah, at the very end, that's Boba Fett. So
is it? Because there was a guy that had his armor.
Oh, they confirmed it. They confirmed it was.
Okay, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, they only showed him for a second. And it's like a cutscene at the end. So,
but now that guy that was like a sheriff of his little town, wasn't that armor that he had bought? Wasn't that Boba Fett's armor?
I believe so. It was, and they kind of gave it away that it was, because they show the very last scene. They show Boba Fett standing there, like as he's leaving Tatooine.
How did I miss that?
Watch it again, dude. Watch it again. It's great.
But I usually do anyway.
I watch referencing the entire universe. And that's what I really think is genius about The Mandalorian. I love it.
Well, there's been a lot of speculation whether or not Boba Fett would show up in this. So, since it's been confirmed, and even I didn't know that, even though I've seen it.
Episode 1, season 2. Yeah.
How do you theorize how he survived? And this isn't spoilery because we don't know.
Okay, well,
because he got ate by a Sarlacc.
Yeah. Because that's what they did. They killed one of the sand dragons. So the fact that he didn't have his armor means that he probably lost it in the belly of the Sarlacc.
The belly of the beast.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's probably the best car armor that saved him.
Yeah.
Because, well, shoot, I don't want to say this because it might give away today's episode.
Yeah, let's don't get too spoilery.
No, but I would say that
season 2. Surely everybody's seen season 1 by now. I don't care about spoiling.
I'll just leave it at this: the best car armor is a lot tougher than you give it credit for.
They allude to that from the beginning.
Right.
That your armor is everything.
Yeah, it's tough stuff.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's probably saved him.
One thing that I highly recommend everybody do is if you've got Disney Plus. And you get caught up, it'll play just something that they think you'll like next because you've seen them all.
Right.
Well, it started playing this. I think it's called Gallery, but it's basically, that may not be the name of it, but it's a whole season of behind the scenes episodes where they talk about everything from just the idea of the Mandalorian and what they're trying to do and how they're going about it, and it's really neat, especially if you're kind of a techie kind of nerd like me. They came up with this whole new technology of filming that's never been done before, that they think will be like the status quo going forward, because you can shoot stuff that looks really, really cool a lot cheaper. And it's basically this humongous warehouse and this giant room of TV screens. And if you want to be in a desert, they put it on the desert, on the walls, and you're in the desert. Instead of using green screen and CGI or having to go on location and shoot in the desert or fly over to Scotland to get, the certain, they bring it to soundstage.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. It looks so real, and they show like all the little, all the stuff they're doing that they have with technology now, and the stuff that they're pulling from how George Lucas did it originally and combining those two.
Oh yeah.
There's this one thing they do where they'll have a model of the ship flying through space, and then they'll have to simulate like they're pulling G's. They move the stars in the background opposite of how the ship's moving. So they pan the camera around, and the background stars are moving. So it makes it look like the ship's flying through space.
It's crazy.
Yes, and George Lucas did it that way.
Yeah, and George Lucas pretty much reinvented the way movies were made at that time of day.
Yeah, especially with that budget.
When that came out, I was like, "Whoa! How did you do that?" Especially like you said, at that budget. Well, that's one thing. If you recall back when we did an episode on The Force Awakens, you and I went to the theater and watched it and did an episode right after. And the first comment I made about it was the cinematography, how just well shot it was, and the fact that they made it not so prequel-y as far as you can't really tell it's CG. They brought back a lot of the puppetry. It was a great homage, if you will, to the original 1977 series, and yet it was just beautifully shot. At the same time, it really made you feel like you were back in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, one thing that surprised me in watching this behind the scenes thing is how much of this is real. I just assumed that this is 2020, they're going to be using a lot of CGI, and they do use CGI to complete stuff. Like you might see the bottom piece of something, and then the top part they fill in with CGI, but everything is real. Like IG 11 or 88, I got them mixed up. One of them is in the original, the bounty hunter robot.
Okay,
they have a puppet of him. Of course, Baby Yoda's got like 4 people controlling it. Like one guy does the arms, and one guy's controlling the facial expression and ears, and they were talking about Baby Yoda and how well done he is, and they said sometimes the directors will be directing Baby Yoda, and they don't like. Instead of talking to the puppeteer, they're talking to the puppet, and then like, oh yeah, wait, that's not a real thing. I need to be talking to you.
I think another thing that they did geniusly was they literally have a different director every episode, and I think that's actually a great thing to do because it you would think that it would ruin the continuity of it, but it really hasn't. They all have stayed on the same page, and I give some of the credit of the ability to do that to like the Marvel universe, because every movie is by a different director, but yet Kevin Feige has helped them stay on the path, for the most part. Right. So the fact that these directors would get in a room and talk it over together before they go direct their episode, and that's they interview them together and separately, talking about their vision for that episode and how the characters fit into the universe that they are creating inside the universe of the Star. It's really, really, really cool. I like that behind the scenes. I'm a sucker for behind the scenes stuff.
Me too.
I'll spend more time watching how to make a movie than watching the actual movie sometimes.
Case in point, about a year ago, for the 9th time, I repurchased the original Michael Keaton Batman because it came with a bonus disc that had some bonus footage on it that I had seen, but some of it that I hadn't. Mm-hmm. I was like, there's some bonus stuff out there that I haven't seen. I gotta buy it, even though I've got like a Blu-ray copy, a CD, probably a DVD and VHS copy of it. Like I bought it one more time just to get that extra behind the scenes footage to watch. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I like to see how the donuts are made.
Yeah, exactly.
And it made me like the Mandalorian. I had a great appreciation. And Jon Favreau. Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that guy. Kudos to him for coming up with all this.
I think Jon Favreau saved the world. I mean,
he started the whole Marvel.
He gave us Iron Man.
which jump started the whole Marvel universe.
He wrote the first 2 Iron Man movies. He wrote it. Like, you would think, okay, directing is one thing, and then you look at the credits of The Mandalorian, he wrote The Mandalorian. Who knew that Jon Favreau, the guy from Rudy, was a fantastic writer that would almost single-handedly save them?
Yeah, and I wouldn't have known I wanted a Mandalorian TV show.
Right.
Like, I like Boba Fett, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't that big of a character in the Star Wars movies. He had, like, what, one line?
If I can recall this correctly, I'm sure that someone would call me out on it, but the whole pitch in the beginning was a Boba Fett show. But when Jon Favreau got involved, he says, no, let's do it on Mandalore and the Mandalorian, because nobody really knows a lot about them.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, you know, I don't know if they agreed to put Boba Fett in it at the time or not, but I know that it was originally pitched as a Boba Fett TV series, and when he started writing it, he focused more on Mandalore than he did anything else, which that was the creation of this new character, and I think that was very smart, you know, on his part.
And I like how they're shooting for the whole space western kind of thing, because if you recall, like, Boba Fett even had spurs. Like, you could hear spurs when he would walk.
Yeah. In
the original Star Wars, and so he was kind of like, you know, the outlaw gunslinger, and you really see that in this. It feels like you're watching a space western,
right?
And every episode has its own theme. Like that one, there's one they call the heist episode. Like, this is a heist, you know, and this is a rescue mission, and this one is this, and it's really neat. It's like each show has its own little personality, and who would have thought in 2020 that the big thing would be a Star Wars TV show?
TV show, right?
Not the movies. Like, there's people that are, of course, there's people that have strong stances on either side about what they think of the last 3 Star Wars movies, but nobody was arguing about this.
Well, look back though, 20 years ago and further, TV shows is notoriously always had low budgets. Mm-hmm. You know, do a lot with what you got, and you don't have a lot. So, in that respect, TV shows relied on their writing and creativity to pull off something that didn't have much CG in it. And I think, you know, especially in series like Game of Thrones, where they put more money in creating those episodes in a motion picture movie that goes into a theater. Now there's so much more budget allowed to TV show creators. I think without that, we wouldn't have this. If we did, it would be really cheesy. It would be like the Star Wars holiday special or something.
What do you think the future of movie going is going to be? Is this going to die down and theaters open up wide open again, or are we fixing to move to, like, because there's a rumor, well, it may not even be a rumor, but I heard that they're seriously thinking about putting the new Wonder Woman movie out on HBO Max.
They are. December 25th.
So that's official?
Yep. Okay. But it's also going to be in theaters too. And so what they're doing, they're like, well, people who are not afraid to go to the theater will have that option there. But it's going to be something like Disney did with Mulan, which, I mean, when they released Mulan, it cost $30 with a Disney Plus subscription to watch it.
I'd like to see the numbers on how that did.
Well, I do too, but I get it, and you know, and a lot of people complained about it, but when you think of it and respect that, well, this is a movie with a big budget, and it's supposed to have a theatrical release. You're not getting to go to the theater. So it's going to cost, you know. So I understand the concept. I just don't think many people did it. So I don't think it's really going to catch on. People are going to leave their house to a certain degree. I know they're referencing stuff as the new norm, but COVID cannot and will not last forever. It's going to get a point where all of society is sick and tired of it, and they're going to say, I'm going out no matter what. I don't think you can keep our economy will not survive in a COVID environment much longer. You know, really can't. I mean, restaurants and, you know, society as we know it would change forever. And it'll take years and years for these things to rebound. Say that COVID lasts 2 or 3 years and all the theaters shut down forever. To bring that back would not be an overnight thing. You know, it would take a long time. I think, you know, it's hard to predict the future. But yeah, I think that as soon as it possibly can, you know, I mean, I hate how they turn COVID into a political thing.
God, I hate politics.
I do too.
That's the only complaint I have about my family is when they all get together, they talk about politics. So I had to listen to that during Thanksgiving. I'm like, turn it off.
To debate it, though, is, you know, they pigeonhole you into or label you, well, you're a naysayer or you're this or you're that. And it's not really even the point. It's just like, I think they took something that that the media could spin to scare the world for a political result. And I'm not saying, and this is where they pigeonhole you, they say, well, you're saying that COVID's not real. No, I'm not saying it's not real, but I'm definitely saying it's exaggerated, heavily exaggerated, to the point of shutting down the entire economy. It's super exaggerated because we've had much worse pandemics in our history as a nation. The Asian flu, we've had way greater pandemics that, you know, the media just dismissed, you know, and we all lived through it.
One thing I think, though, to kind of play devil's advocate here, that makes this virus a little bit different, maybe this is just for me, maybe the thing that makes it a little scary is, yeah, it only has a 1% death rate. There's been viruses that are way worse than that. But at the same time, you don't even know exactly what you're going to get if you get it. Like, some people get it and never even know they had it.
Right.
Some people, we've got a couple of close friends that suffered severely with it. And, you know, everybody's scared of getting it because you don't know what you're getting. If you get the flu, you expect A, B, C, X, Y, Z.
Right.
You get COVID-19, who the hell knows what's going to happen to you? Our friend Barry, like, his spleen was enlarged.
Right.
It's like, who knows what's going to happen and how long it's going to happen to you. Some people are getting over it in a week. Some people never got over it. They still can't taste and smell and things like that. I think that's, maybe it's just me, but that's what makes it kind of scary, is it's unpredictable. You're like, you don't know what the hell you're going to get.
Right.
And with other viruses, you kind of have you kind of got an idea. It's like, okay, well, if I get it, this is what I got to do. And there's no real treatment. You can treat the symptoms.
Working in a medical group where I have the opportunity to work, and I will work alongside public health. And so I'm a part of a lot of their briefs. And from day one, back in March, February even, the meetings we have went like this. They said then, everybody's going to get it.
Eventually.
Eventually. Everybody's going to... They said it back then.
The way the numbers are trending, it certainly looks like it.
There's no way to actually prevent this from happening. You're going to get it. The flattening the curve concept was always, let's just prevent everybody the best that we can from getting it at the same time. Mm-hmm. So wear a mask and social distance. That way we can flatten the curve. We're not oversaturating our hospitals. But then what the media would do is media would skew numbers, and then they will make bogus claims, and which saying they will go on the radio and say all our ERs and ICUs are filled, and it would be false information. There'll be hospitals with plenty of open beds and ICUs with plenty of room in it. Matter of fact, hospitals are turning away, you know, most common other illnesses and only accepting COVID patients. But also at the same time, due to insurance reasons, there's a lot of civilian medical facilities for the purpose of insurance. They were coding anything and everything COVID, because if you say you had a common cold and you diagnose this code with the common cold, you get X amount of dollars for that visit. Well, if you can make that a COVID-19 code, they can double or even triple the amount you get as payment from the insurance company because the insurance company got help from the federal government. Well, I'm not wanting to turn this into a conspiracy theory, and I know you like conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. These are factual things that I've witnessed, top hand. I've seen a lot of deaths and a lot of people who were told they had COVID-19 and never did. But like you said a few minutes ago, there's a lot of people who've had it and never even knew it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything for society to really be afraid of. I think what we should be afraid of is what and how the government is using this virus to control people. And that's the scary part to me,
Yeah,
and I think that's only going to get worse.
One thing I can agree on is I firmly believe that if you test positive for COVID-19 and then you walk out in the street and get smacked by a bus, you're going to be listed as a COVID-19 death.
Oh yeah. I mean, anything, Yeah, it's.
But
it's
on
really
on the other end of it, I think there's people. There's definitely going to be some false positive, but I think there's false negatives both. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard about so many people firsthand. Again, a good friend of ours tested negative twice on the short test, which is when they stick it up your nose, then positive for the blood test. And it took so long to get the results back that by the time he knew he had COVID, he was almost over it.
Right. The people that really should be afraid of this virus are those that know they have pre-existing medical conditions.
Right.
If you're a bad diabetic, if you're extremely overweight, if you have any type of lung disease at all, COPD, if you're a heavy smoker, if you have high blood pressure, I think, and age, if you're over 60 and you have any of those things that I just mentioned, then yeah, you should you should be very cautious. I don't think you should make young and healthy majority of people, stay inside and wear a mask and junk like that, who will likely, like 99.999% recover. I think you should be protecting those people that have pre-existing illnesses. Those are things that healthy people should be, making ways available for those people to maybe not leave their house, maybe protect them a little bit more. Those are the people that really are at risk, and even a low percentage of those actually have a death rate that's high. And
there's healthy people that get taken out by it, and then there's people that are at huge risk that kick out pretty easy. It's just so, going back to what I said, it's so unpredictable.
Right.
You just don't know exactly what your COVID-19 experience is going to be. And that kind of makes it a little bit scary for me. I don't want to get it. I am overweight. I do have high blood pressure. I drink a lot. Of course, I've always been a big hand washer because like at work, if I go do something when I come back, the first thing I do is wash my hands.
Right.
And I don't mind, I'm using obviously more hand sanitizer now than I ever have. And I don't really mind that. I don't mind wearing a mask. There was somebody talking about that the other day that they said, well, the mask doesn't help anything. And, well, you can prove it by doing this test and this test and this test. And I'm like, well, I know, but I don't think the point, at least from what I understand, and I'm a big dummy, but I don't think the mask is stopping the virus molecules or atoms or particles or whatever they're called. It's stopping your spit that has it in it. It can't hurt. And it's like, And I've been taking more vitamins lately. And then people say, that's not going to do any good. I'm like, well, it ain't going to hurt.
There is a recent study, this is something that is factual, that most COVID cases are coming from aerosol type droplets. Nothing left on the surface. So people are working real hard to cleaning surfaces. Well, they apparently don't live on surfaces as long as people have previously thought. It is coming from aerosol type of droplets, and that's what is that? That's people breathing. So, I don't mind wearing a mask either. And the thing is I see other people in their eyes the uncomfort they have around someone who's not wearing a mask. And the thing is I don't want someone I mean, do I feel like they make a big difference? Probably not. About 50-50, you know. But if someone's uncomfortable around me not wearing a mask, then I don't want that to happen. So I wear it to make people around me comfortable, you know. At least feel a little bit more safer. So for that, more than I do worry about myself or if I contract it, or, you know, worst case scenario if I.
Yeah, I'd feel really bad if I gave it to somebody too.
But they're going to get it anyway. I mean,
but if there's a sign on the door that said masks required, I always have it in my back pocket. I'll slip it on.
Me too.
It doesn't bother me. But what I think is funny, and this happened the other day. There's 2 huge banners out front hung up that says face mask required on the premises, and it's got a picture of a face mask in case you didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the door, there's another big sign with a picture of a face mask. It says face mask required upon entry. So, you know, I got my mask out, I slipped it on, I walk in. I'm the only person in that whole place, including all the employees of that store, that has on a mask.
The biggest reason, I mean, the reason for that is like legalities. You know, that establishment don't want to be ever accused, well, we didn't imply or we didn't put that rule in. We put that rule in effect. There's signs everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do they expect someone to put an officer at the door and said, "Oh, you're not wearing a mask"? I mean, Walmart did that for a while.
Walmart basically did that for a while.
They
were serious about it. Like if you didn't have it on as you were walking up, they're like, "Hey, whoa, get on the ground!" No, but like, just in wrapping all this up, I feel kind of weird walking in a store like that, and I'm the only one with a mask on. Just like I wouldn't want to walk in and be the only one without one.
Right.
But I don't judge either way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't be like, "What the hell, man?"
And I don't think other people should either. You know, I think you should do right by yourself. You know, what you feel comfortable and uncomfortable doing. You know, I respect other people, so I wear it for that reason more than anything else.
Yeah, and going back to movies and stuff, like this is the drive-in theater's time to shine, man.
Right.
Like, but the problem is, all these drive-in theaters are, I guess, still open because you can social distance easy inside of a vehicle.
Right.
But what movies are they going to show?
Well,
you know, they're having
reruns and stuff like that, because they're not going to release, you know, Black Widow, if you will, or, you know, the Eternals, or, you know, big movies that are coming out in the future. They're not going to release those just to drive-ins. I mean, because it's not going to capitalize.
Well, from what I understand, there's a lot of theaters still open. They're they're having to show old movies.
Exactly, because nothing needs coming out.
So start putting the movies out.
Yeah, I don't see why.
If you don't feel comfortable going to the theater, I mean, you ain't got to.
No, you don't.
And you can social distance inside of a theater.
I've been saying that.
Just don't sit next to those people over there.
I
don't like sitting next to people without a pandemic.
If you're scared to leave your house, then don't. People, I mean, that's something about concerts, you know, because it's killed all our concerts. And people hit me up, is like, "Why are you doing a concert?" I'm like, "Well, I'm doing this one because it's outside in a big field. There's plenty of room to social distance. And here's the thing: if you don't feel comfortable coming out, then don't come out. So you stay at home." But there's other people who are...
I'm used to people doing that at our concerts anyway.
Exactly. You know, it's nothing new.
I'm used to people staying at home. It's the same as before. We just have a pandemic. Go with it.
Yeah, but don't disrespect the people who do come out, you know, or, you know, because they're not afraid, you know. That's my opinion, anyway.
I say I need to check our food. I'm cooking chicken tacos, going back to food again.
Yeah.
I need to check our food and take a quick break. And when we come back, speaking of concerts, we got to talk about the upcoming Seeking 7 CD release party. We got to talk about the song. We got to talk about the video and everything that's been going on there. And we got to play the song.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you play that commercial? Have you finished that commercial?
Yep. I've finished it.
Why don't you play it?
We'll do it.
All right.
We'll roll those beautiful beans.
Roll them beans.
Friday, December 18th, VFW Post 4490, Aberdeen, Mississippi presents Seeking 7, What Few Remain CD release party. The new album will be available, and to celebrate with us, we have also played Northeast Mississippi legends, Kill Jay. But I choose revenge! Along with, from Jackson, Tennessee, Caging Elliott and Via Novus and Affliction of the Absent. One night, 5 bands, sponsored by Madhouse Inc. with the Body Art Bus, who will be on location that evening. 5 bands, only a $10 cover. Come rock out with Seeking 7 and friends as we celebrate the release of the brand new CD, What Few Remain Volume 2, Friday, December 18th, VFW Post 4490, Aberdeen, Mississippi.
Oh, and during our little break, not only did we get our bellies full of chicken tacos.
Some great chicken tacos, man.
We
Great.
watched the latest episode of Mandalorian, and I agree with you 100%. That's the best episode so far.
It really is.
Like that, they could have extended that out about another hour and a half, and that would have been one of the best Star Wars movies.
It was so good.
I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was so good though that it was a fast 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, boom.
I think they're a little bit more than 30 minutes, aren't they?
They're like 40, I think.
Yeah. Well, the first one of this season was an hour.
Usually the pilots are a little bit longer.
I didn't necessarily agree 100% with everybody else. Like, even my brother-in-law was down for Thanksgiving telling me that at the first start of this season, he was like, eh. But now that I've seen that episode, oh, yeah, those pale in comparison.
Oh, right. I was actually, I was hanging in there, no doubt, and I liked the episode 1 of season 2. But then I was almost getting bored with it up until this episode, and I'm like, this one definitely reeled me back in.
Yeah, and one thing I failed to mention to bring up that I thought was really neat about this show when we were talking about the behind-the-scenes thing, as far as I know, they've never done this before with any other show, but they shoot the whole show on this game engine technology, and they call it, what was it, pre-VR? Or what was it they called it?
Pre-visuals?
Pre-viz.
Pre-viz.
Yeah, they call it pre-viz. And they do the whole show without actors.
Like
well,
all in CG, right?
they have actors,
Kind of like
the
a
stand-ins,
glorified storyboard, but with movie.
very glorified.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
a whole finished product, and then they bring in the people and shoot it. And I'm like, dude, they need to release that.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like an alternate version of it, because it looks like you're watching a Star Wars game, but it's an episode of The Mandalorian.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't look like
That'd be cool if they
as
released
good
that.
as, what we see, but still, it's cool. Like, it'd be
Yeah,
cool. I'd watch it.
It'll be real cool if they release something like that. But speaking of the whole Star Wars universe, if you, I think with this episode, if you haven't watched any of the Clone Wars cartoon series, you definitely want to watch that before this episode. But even their cartoons like Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars, the Clone Wars, they're like they're canon. At this point, Disney owns them all, but they're just like what you mentioned. They're such a great part of the story that in some parts they're better than an actual feature film. They're just as good, I think. And I'm not a big cartoon watcher. I don't watch a lot of cartoons, but those I've seen them all.
I haven't seen any of them, but I've heard
The
that
only ones
the
I
new
haven't-
one is called Rebels.
The Resistance.
Is that what it's called?
Well,
I heard that one's good.
Well, that's the only one I haven't seen yet. I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes of it, but I haven't watched the whole season. But I have watched all of Star Wars Rebels. You would like Star Wars Rebels because, the scene in Solo at the end where you see Darth Maul. Well, that was all actually laid out in Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see that coming in the movie Solo, you would have if you had watched the Rebels cartoons.
Somebody told me that Darth Maul's brother is in the Clone Wars, and he looks a lot like him.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I've seen that episode.
Darth Maul's my favorite Star Wars character. So when I saw him,
it gives Darth Maul a good origin story too. If you haven't seen those episodes,
I was super stoked to see him in Solo, and then I was bummed to find out that Solo did so badly that they just decided to go in a different direction.
if you have a hunger for more Darth Vader, if there's not enough Darth Vader for you in any of the series,
There's never enough Darth Vader.
you have to watch the Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. There's plenty of Darth Vader.
I can definitely get my fill of
moments.
Anakin pre-Darth Vader.
Right. And yeah.
But anyway, we need to get to the nitty gritty here. We haven't even got to our main topic.
That's why I'm here.
I want to know everything about everything. I hope you got a few extra minutes.
All right. So when a mommy and
When a man
daddy
loves a woman.
loves each other very much.
No, I mean, I'll start off by saying this. You guys have definitely, and I mean, you guys, Seeking 7, you've really proven the rule that the place to be in music nowadays is a strong presence on YouTube. There's people out there, and I can finally attest to this firsthand because we finally, after 20 years, did an official video ourselves. There's people out there that aren't going to go to iTunes and buy your music. They're not going to probably go to a show. But almost anybody, if you tell them about a band, they'll go on YouTube and look them up.
Right.
And if there's an official video there, they're going to click it, and that's how they're going to hear your music. And if they go back to hear the song again, they're probably going to play the video again.
I think we have to accept the reality that for a lot of people, the only way they're going to ever know you is through some form of internet presence.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and it's got a much wider reach than your local rock shows. I was actually looking through our analyticals and YouTube, I believe it was, about who's actually watching our video, and there was pings from Australia, pings from Russia, pings from the Netherlands, which I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know, playing Bash at the Birch would never get me a reach like that. You know? So that's really cool, and that's kind of been for a really long time now, and I haven't even done it through fruition yet. I guess my plan in the beginning was our strategy even was a better internet presence, and I think that's just where everything is headed, and I even want to do something that sounds really crazy. I want to go back to all our earlier releases, like on the Surface and Chaos, and film videos for those songs.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's too late. I know we're a long way from those releases, but I think they need to be out there. I really hope that when someone types Seeking 7 into their browser, that everything that pops up is really good quality stuff, not just somebody filming with their terrible LG phone or something at a show where the volume is distorted and you can't really get a good idea of what's actually going on.
And by the way, I've got the LG phone company on the line right now. They are not happy. But no, to your point, that's definitely, and again, I can finally attest to that firsthand, that we have something of quality out there. It makes all the difference in the world, because obviously if somebody records something with a cell phone and slaps it on YouTube, you're not going to get good quality visually or audibly, and so it's destined to be a bad impression. Right. And then there's so many other bands out there, they just pass on. But if they see something good,
right.
And there's such a visual now, like it's not just, hey, I want to go hear this band. Like it's really, everybody nowadays is going to YouTube and they're saying, check out this band. They're not going to Spotify first.
Right.
They're going to YouTube and they pull it up and they watch the video.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you've got an official video, which now y'all have, what, 5?
Not that many.
You did the first one was a long way.
And then we did one for Crucified.
The one in the theater.
That's Crucified, yeah.
Okay.
And then we got this one. So this is our third.
Y'all got a lot of good quality stuff out there, though, other than your official videos of, like, because you do everything yourself, don't you?
Yeah. We always been a DIY band. And it sucks, and it has its advantages and disadvantages. You know, I don't have a huge budget, so we have to do what we got, what we can with what we got. But everything we do is with full of great intentions and heart. And you know, there's other bands out there that they have a lot more money and a much bigger budget than we do, obviously. But I'm happy with the quality that we have been able to produce on the budget that we have. It would be nice to have a big budget and hire in the pros to come in and take over. But the realistic of it is like, you know, at the end of the day, I think that I'm much more proud of what I have.
Oh yeah,
because it came from, I mean,
your own sweat and blood.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing here, I guess here's my meter stick, if that makes any sense, is that other local bands that do it themselves, you know what we do through hard work compared to the quality of work that they're putting out. It's either one of two things. Most of them don't put out anything because they're putting the band together and just waiting for a company or something to come and sign them so they can do all the work, or they want to sign with some management company to do the work for them. And the reality of it is that I've always been up to the mindset that if it's going to be done, it's because I did it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and wait on somebody to do it.
You got to take matters into your own hands. Exactly. Absolutely. That's the only way it's going to happen. That magic dream of just playing in your garage and then a record exec shows up and hands you $1 million. Those have been gone.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that what you're doing with your videos and your own recordings and DIY, the quote unquote big bands are doing that now too.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
not.
they are.
There's not a label walking up, a label exec saying, "Here's $1 million, go shoot your video at so and so location," and we've got Harley Davidsons coming and helicopters with cameras. That doesn't happen. They're doing their videos the same way you are.
Not only does that whole world not exist anywhere, there's not an MTV to speak of to break these videos.
Mm-mm.
So there's no budget to make them. So even big record companies are not, fronting the money for videos. If videos are getting done, the bands are paying for them.
Oh yeah,
and that's just the way it is.
And the albums.
And I say all that to say this, and I guess to any up and coming band, if you're putting a band together and you got some friends in a garage and y'all woodshedding, here's the advice that I give you: do the work yourself and cut out that middleman, because if anyone's gonna put their heart into it, you are, because it's your project. Another party's not going to come in and put the same amount of heart that you have in your own project. So
yeah, and take Seeking 7 for an example. I could imagine, I've never asked you this before, but I would assume you've
asked me a lot.
Yeah, you've got to the point to where who needs them? I would imagine you would have to have a pretty sweet offer to turn this over to a label at this point.
I think that's
because you've got to the point you just don't need them. And if someone walked up and said, "Hey, we want to sign Seeking 7," I imagine you'd be extremely reluctant and probably even just be like, "I'm good. What can you do for me that I'm not doing myself already?"
Well, it's funny because I've done that I've done that very thing. The last time I put a number to it, it was 11. Somewhere at home in a drawer, I have 11 record label or publishing contracts that were sent to me and offered to me, and I've turned every one of them down. And
Did you do like Airheads and wipe your ass with any of them?
No, I didn't.
That'd been a good video.
They all mean something to me. I couldn't accept the offer, and here's why. They were all written the same way. You come to my studio, you work with my producer, and we're going to bill you for it, but not make you pay for it up front. Then we're going to own all your music, and publish it for you. And then we're going to let you have a photo shoot with my photographer, and then we're going to put your record out. Well, I'm asking this. I'm like, well, how are you going to sell the record? Do you have a PR specialist on board? than crickets at that point.
Yeah, what's your marketing campaign?
Yeah. What about a booking agency?
They're like, marketing? What is that?
I was like, everything that you mentioned, I can do myself.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing, is I can record these CDs myself. I can produce them myself. I can do a pretty dang good photo shoot myself. I can do all these things myself. What I can't do is the PR work. And I can't do the booking agency work. So if you can offer me those two things, then I will give up the ownership of my songs possibly. So offer me one of those deals. Offer me to do something that I can't do.
Yeah.
And no one, that's just not an offer they're willing to give. And so, no, I haven't been able to successfully negotiate a deal because I'm looking for a contract for someone. If I'm going to give up the ownership to my own songs that I write, then you better be offering me something that I can't do. And I just, no one's presented me with an offer.
Well, nowadays, what's left of record labels has devolved into glorified banks, where they basically just give you a loan.
That's basically what
they look at your band and they listen to your music and they go, "We project you'll sell this many records, and you'll make us X amount of money, so we will loan you that based on that analytic that we did."
Right.
But you pay it all back with interest, and we own all your shit.
Right, and they own your publishing. That's the big thing. And but that was in
Negan is even more reasonable than that.
that was in a day when CDs actually sell. But what has killed that? The streaming services. The streaming services, which is a whole new conversation on its own. But any chance of you actually selling a CD is because you are really, excuse my French, you kicked ass at a show, and you moved someone to want to buy your CD at a show, or you got a close friend and family that wants to support you. Selling CDs beyond that, this day and age, is pretty much gone because anybody and everybody can invest $0 by just looking you up on Spotify and YouTube or wherever.
Yeah, and the way Spotify, and I know it every time I talk about Spotify as an artist, it's different as how I talk about it as a user of Spotify.
Yep.
Because they say they pay you, but I mean, is that really? Because basically what it is from what I understand, the way it works is people that aren't Spotify subscribers hear commercials, and so they say, okay, well, if they're going to listen to your music and they hear our commercial, you get a tiny little shred of copper off the pennies on the dollar of the advertising. But dude, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, if you get 1 million plays, you might get $1.
I actually got a number the other day. I can pull it up here. I'll show it to you offline. But I think it was 0.000 3 zeros 0.000 4449999 of a cent.
When somebody listens to your song.
Per song. We were right at 100,000 plays on Spotify, and I had a check for $1.49.
Swimming pools, movie stars.
And that was an accumulation of, I think, 2 years. 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I remember on iTunes. Well, we go through CD Baby that kind of takes care of all of our streaming services. Like,
that's where I pull these analytics up.
Yeah, it's so much easier to go through somebody that does that for you because they'll put your music out in places you didn't even know about. Like, I didn't even know Napster was still a thing, but evidently we're somehow on Napster. Like the legal Napster, I guess. Anyway.
He's ironically owned by the same guy that owns Spotify.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Do people still do that? But anyway, you can adjust how much you want your royalty check to be. It's like, don't cut me a check until it's X amount.
Right.
Like, and you can set that to whatever. Like, send me a check every time I get $1, or send me a check every time I get 100. And I set mine so high and we sell so little that I forget. Like, I'll get once a year, I'll get a check in the mail and I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot. Some people buy stuff.
I think mine's set.
That's even happening less and less.
I think mine's set to 50. So they release funds every time my account makes it up to $50. And for a little while there, I was getting about, I mean, this is years ago now though. I was getting about $50 a month. So I'm like, well, I guess it ain't too bad. Now I get about $50 a year.
Oh yeah,
You know?
it's non-existent. I remember back when the iTunes thing was still, people were still paying $1 for a song, and they'd pay $9.99 for your album. Here and there, which you only get 40% of that.
Right.
And we had that white van. It's a lot like your van, the one you have now. And we were doing a lot of shows, but it cost like $80 to fill the van up with gas. I got a royalty check in the mail, cashed it, and filled up the van and kept going. So like we got a tank of gas
out of all your
thousands of people buying our music. It's pretty sad, but the upside was the shows, and thanks to COVID-19,
and
which y'all have actually been pretty fortunate. Y'all stayed compared to most local bands. I mean, dude, this show coming up will be like the third show in 2020 that Killjay's played. Maybe the fourth. Y'all stayed somewhat steady for a band that's in a pandemic.
True. However, you're talking to a guy that will book 4 days a week for a year.
Yeah.
So no, my tempo that I'm used to is all but gone. And so 2020 was supposed to be a grand year for us. I mean, the gigs that I've been spending a lifetime literally to nail down, I finally got. Like Market Street Festival, Bill Street Music Festival. All these things were supposed to happen this year. And none of them did. The Railroad Festival, I mean, none of these. Every gig.
We even got shut down for Cruising Amory the day before.
Yeah, the day, and that's what's been a common thread as well. Is a lot of these gigs were canceled like the day before or the week of, and that's when it really hurts, because you're like, well, even though COVID is going on, I still got this gig. And then the week of, it gets swept out from under your feet, and you're like,
dude, exactly.
Tough,
I was so excited because of that reason about Cruising Amory. I was like, finally, we get to go play a show, and it's in our hometown.
Go ahead and hit the bell for a second.
Okay.
So when Cruising Amory got canceled, we decided to do a virtual show, which is online now. And you could go to YouTube and you can watch Killjay play the night of that was supposed to have been the Cruising Amory show. So go to the YouTube channel, Rastafarian Records, and or just search Killjay live in YouTube, and you'll see that show.
I really had fun doing that too. It was
so much fun. It really was.
Which, just a little earmark, remind me to ask you a question about YouTube when we get done, because I'm stupid with technology, ironically.
Me too, but
because I deal in technology a lot. But there's certain, like, I'm this new Facebook interface has just got me like,
maybe the two stupid guys in the same room and cancel each other.
I'm so upset that Facebook changed everything. Like right when I figured out how to, like, because I've got my personal accounts and then I've got like my business accounts such as Killjay and Real Pop Culture and all that, and I'm like, I got it figured out how to do it on the computer, which I prefer. I'm old school. Do it on my phone, and then they changed everything.
Yeah.
Nothing's the same. It's like a whole new ball game, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
And it changed for the worse. I mean, now you can't even put music on.
Is that so? Could you? How did you do it before?
Well, you can on YouTube. You can on Facebook.
No.
Yeah.
Well, most people just put it on YouTube and then do the post.
You can still do that. You can still do that. You can't do a video for music listening experience on Facebook no more as of October 1st.
Wow.
Yeah, it really blows.
Yeah, and the way their algorithm is set up, they drive you towards wanting. They want more or less that they want you to pay,
right,
to juice your posts. And we could talk about the benefit and downside of that, but yeah, it's like there is a Real Pop Culture page out there just called Jon Snow now, because they didn't want us to be a personal page. They wanted us to be a business page. So they forced me to change the name to a actual person's, quote unquote, person's name. And so now we have a page. But the reason they wanted that page is because if we want people to see our posts, we gotta pay them.
Yep. Even the people that already follow you. So say that 5,000 people follow you, it's going to send to less than 5% of your 5,000 followers. There's only one way still around that loophole, but you work hard already, hard enough as it is, to get followers, just to get someone to hit like. That's hard enough. But they have to go into the settings of said page and click see first. Because then if you click see first, then you bypass that 5%.
Damn it, see? I didn't know that.
Right.
And I'm going to go click see first on a lot of stuff because I'd finally watched enough cat videos.
If you
see where I'm going with this?
If you like a page, it defaults to not. It doesn't default to see first. You actually have to go in there and tell it, and they did that by design. And yeah, so I think that's really, really, really crummy. It's a very manipulative way for Facebook to squeeze money out of broke bands. Because I think I worked really hard to get 5,000 followers on Facebook, but when I put a post up, it only goes to 5%.
They don't see them. Yeah,
exactly.
See, I need to go in on some bands and stuff that I like, and just say see first,
and then you'll get
I didn't even know that. I bet a lot of people don't know that.
Right.
But so, I went out of my way to make sure that if there's something I see that I like, to click like, because it seems like I see more of that.
Right.
For example, Shane posts a lot of funny shit. Well, I like seeing funny shit, so I'll click like on everything. So I see almost everything he posts.
That's the algorithm jumping in. So that's not actually a see first thing. Now, it works different for personal profiles than it does for pages. Pages is where it is. So it doesn't limit your personal profile. Now, the algorithm takes over where the people that are, liking more of your stuff, that they're closer followers, so they're going to get it for sure. But the people who probably ignore or don't get on Facebook often, they probably won't even see it unless they actually click on your name. But they're, it's just a crummy way, I think, that they manipulated.
I know, and what sucks about it is like good luck promoting something without it.
Right. I mean, and you look at your...
What are you going to do, hang flyers? Well, you need a permit to put that here.
Yeah. It really has, what was supposed to have been a tool that we didn't have before is now being restricted to the point where it's not usable. And you're right. You look at your alternatives. Like, I wanted to phase out social media altogether, but I couldn't.
It's a necessary evil. You can't.
Yeah. And... so, that's the reason we are having we're switching gears. We're focusing more on YouTube than we are Facebook and Twitter. And
it's working for you. I mean, I've seen your numbers. It's doing these videos and learning your craft on how to record them and promote them. I mean, the numbers don't lie. And it's definitely, you're doing something right.
Well, the whole reason that we try to at least figure it out is because I think, and it's hard for me to say this without sounding arrogant. I like so many local bands. I like so much original music, and I know that we're not the best band, and we're not trying to be the best band. We're not trying to be better than anyone else. But I know that we got something, and when you got something, it's worth investing into.
Yeah.
And so I look back at the albums that we put out. I look forward at this new album that we're dropping soon, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm proud of it not just because I made it, but I think it's something. And I don't want to put it on the proverbial shelf and just let it collect dust. I mean, I want it out there, and I want people to hear it. And it's a shame to I mean, have you ever watched a movie that's really old and you look, well, how did I miss this? I never heard of this movie before. That's the sad part of a band, I think, is like when you find something you really like and they've been around for years and you think, well, how did I miss this?
I can give you a great example of that. My girlfriend sent me a song from this band, and I was like, dude, this song is awesome. So, obviously, I went and checked the band out. I was like, man, this whole album's good. And I was like, oh, wait, they got another album out. Go and check that album out. It's even better than that one. I'm like, dude, I've got this new band that I can add to my bands that I like. Because I'm a seeker of good music.
Right.
I seek it out.
Let me guess. Let me finish your story. Of course, you go into details, but I bet you said band up and they were broken up.
In 2009, bro. They broke up in 2009, and they were good. Like, really good. I'll let you listen to some later. You'll agree 100. You'll be like, how did we miss this? And I'm like, it's the nature of the business, man. It's so many good bands are never going to get discovered or have the opportunity, and it just doesn't happen.
Right.
It can be discouraging, but one thing I wanted to talk about kind of on the upside is, we've talked about the woes and hardships in live music with COVID-19, but are there, from your perspective, and I can almost answer this for you, but I'll let you elaborate, what are the advantages of being at home in quarantine, trying to record a record, trying to record videos, and trying to learn how to produce it all and make it happen?
Well, the biggest thing is that you have time to do it.
Exactly.
And that's something that I didn't have, and a lot of bands don't have. You wonder, back in the day, why did it take bands 2 or 3 years between records?
Yeah.
Because they're touring. I mean, I was at one time playing 4 shows a night and keeping a day job, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, but yet I didn't skip a beat or miss a day of work. And
I know.
and
I've had you on the podcast
like,
going, dude, how are you functioning?
I mean,
and like, seriously, I don't get it. Like, how?
People would look at me and say, why hasn't Seeking 7 put out a new album? And I'm like, well, that's easy. I hadn't had time to do one. But I had a vision back before the year began, before 2020 began. And if there is a silver lining, is COVID has allowed me to execute those things. I mean,
to complete your vision.
Well, I was talking to Dale Jones on his radio show when we wrote What Few Remain. We wrote a whole album. We demoed 26 songs. We recorded 17, and we picked 12. Well, once I started whittling on these 12, we recorded all 12, and with a fine-tooth comb, might I add. And then because of the shape of the economy and the way the streaming changes things, I had a bright idea to split it up into 2 EPs and then marry the 2 later into one album later. So I already had all the songs, not just written, but they were all recorded. They were done.
Have you told the story of that on the show? I know you've told me.
I don't know. Maybe I have.
Well, go ahead and briefly, because I think that's genius, even with the visual of how you're going to do the covers.
Oh, yeah. I hope people figured that out without me telling them.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Pay no attention to that.
But
ignore that last part.
But we wrote the whole album and recorded the whole album, but I only released volume 1. Well, thanks to COVID throwing a wrench in the spokes here, is I had time to write new songs and new music, and just out of nowhere I wrote all these new songs, demoed them in like a weekend, and I sit back and I realized that's it. That's volume 2. That other stuff I wrote, the stuff that those other 6 songs that made the volume 2. So there's a whole Seeking 7 album that will probably never get released.
I mean, who says you can't do a volume 3?
Maybe. Who knows? But I skipped all those songs.
People like trilogies these days. You ever heard of Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a whole lot of Seeking 7 material out there. But when I've demoed this, I said that's not Vol 2. This is, and so we got together and recorded it in a matter of a couple weeks, and then shot the video. And in between that, we did some at home and virtual type concerts. So COVID has allowed me the time to do some of those things that I otherwise would not have time for. I don't think I would have volume 2 the way it is now, the way it finished, if it hadn't been for COVID. I would not shy away from saying this is my quarantine album.
Oh yeah,
but no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. There's a small silver lining when it comes to music, is that the next year there's gonna be a lot of good stuff released that bands like Seek and Seven had time to like. What else are you gonna do?
I was telling somebody that the other day. I was like, as soon as bands figure out how to release the new music, there's going to be a surge of great music that happens within the next year or so. The only reason that's going to be delayed is that they're trying to figure out the marketing aspect of it.
Yeah, because man, even with a local band, you don't have to. This is true with whatever level of success you're at. You record an album, you got to go sell it.
Right.
You're not going to release an album and just sit on it and expect people to come find you and go, "Hey, I heard you did an album. I want to buy it." You got to go. You got to hit the road and go sell your album.
I heard an algorithm from a professional touring musician that said that if you don't have 4 times the amount you spent on making your record to promote your record, then it's all for naught.
Yeah, and not just the marketing. I mean, like the shows. Like you got to take it on the road.
You got to.
We got this album done. You got to get it on the road and get it to the people.
What did I say earlier when I said that about the only way you're selling CDs is if you really do a good show?
Dude, yeah.
Look at Killjoy history. Where did y'all sell the most albums?
When we
toured it,
and when we did a good show. Yeah. If we showed up and had a bad day at the office and stunk up the joint, you better believe our CD sales at the merch table are going to reflect that. Same is true as if we were on point one night and showed up and killed it. We're there till 1 in the morning signing albums and selling T-shirts.
I've been in the same boat. It's so funny how Killjoy and Seek and Seven are so much alike in that respect, but it's just the truth of it.
Yeah, I've paid money to go see a certain band, and the opening act was so good, I was in line at the merch table to meet them and buy their CD and get them to sign it while I was missing the band that I paid to go see. Like, if you show up and play a good show, you know, they're going to want some of what you got. You show up and stink up the joint, they're going to be like, next. Yeah. There's too many choices out there.
Someone told me that when we opened up for Puddle of Mud, they told me that. Like, Puddle of Mud's playing now, but you guys were so great, I wanted to wait in line over here and get your CD.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was like, yeah. But I was like, well, you're not missing anything because Puddle of Mud suck. They were terrible.
I heard that Wes Scanton, how do you say his name? The singer?
Oh, yeah.
I heard he finally got his shit together, but for a while there, it was just fun following him in the news with all the shenanigans.
Well, I think what's killed him the same way that's happening in the trap, but not the same way, but similar. But when they trolled that video of him doing the Nirvana cover, that's the end of his career. You'll never hear from this guy again.
So what happened with Trapped?
Oh, you never heard of that? You haven't heard of that? Mm-mm. It's worth a Google search.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you the short. The short is he started really trolling on his own fans, and so there was like a mass exodus, and now they're like, it's just really bad. The lead singer apparently isn't a smart dude.
We're pretty smart. We're nice to our fans. We troll them with our music. We're a metal band from Amory, Mississippi. We're living trolls.
Well, we are. We're so excited about this new record, and I think everybody has turned it up a notch across the room. Jake, drumming wise, and then the addition of Shane, and you know all about that. Shane's in your band too. We share a bass player, if you didn't know. I mean,
we share a kidney.
Well, Shane is the type of person though that pushes me to the next level. You know, it's like this is good, but this would be better, you know. And then he performed so well on the album that I was like, man, I had to go back and re-record my parts to make them, you know, as good as him. And I like someone that can push me in that direction. And we're so happy about this record. And I'm probably breaking every rule in the book of how to release it and doing this party in the middle of a pandemic, but we're really just, man, it's such a great record for us, and I'm so excited about getting it out. I don't really care. I just want to get it out. So I don't care if I break rules. So that's one we're throwing a CD release party. That's one where I said, I don't care if we're in the pandemic. I'm inviting all our friends, because one thing that we haven't had in a really long time now is a great rock show. And I held nothing back. I contacted all my friends. I had to turn a few bands away even, and that really broke my heart because we just didn't have stage time for them. But I put together an incredible lineup, and it's going to be one heck of a party, and it's going to be a night where people can let their hair down, and I think that's what we need in this time.
Absolutely. And as we transition into the topic of the show, we've talked about the album and the song that we're about to play. Why don't we take a quick break and come back and finish up talking about the show itself and bring this bad boy home?
All right. So this is our first single. There's a video out on YouTube. It's called The Drowning Within. Hope you guys dig it.
Check it out. I'm not the one hitting the button, so I got to make sure my cue is good. That was The Drowning Within by Siggy 7. You heard it here but you definitely need to go to Seeking 7 TV. Is that the name of your YouTube channel?
Seeking 7 TV.
And you need to watch the video. It's really, really good. And one thing we were talking about before we hit record is when you start visualizing, okay, I've got the song. Now I need the video. And the video needs to match the song. And I want to tell a story with the video. But you have to go through this whole process of like, you don't want to make it too complicated because you don't want to take away from the song, but you want that visual to bring you in, to draw you in.
Yeah, well, art is a visual medium, and the greatest form of art is music, and music is not visual, so you have to be able to find a way to visually tell your story. And I think that's what we went through with this when we're sitting down in meetings, the band meetings, about the treatment for the Drowning Within. It really got elaborate, and I liked everything that was pitched. I liked it all. But when it come down to editing and shooting the video, I think simplicity won. In the form of,
because you got 4 minutes and 4 seconds to tell that story.
You're right.
You don't have 2 hours. It's not a feature-length film.
Exactly. And then the words are already spoken, so you don't have to act out the dialogue. Right. So you just visually tell the story, which is kind of, if I can say that I had a vision for the song from day one, I think it really came full circle with the shooting of the video. It really turned out the way I wanted it to, and that's a rare thing for what cooks up in my brain to what actually comes out at the end. There are things that I would like to done differently, but I think that's in every project. But I'm really proud of what we did and how hard everybody worked that day to. We shot that video in one day, and
that's the way to do it.
I think so.
Get in there, crush it, and get out.
All right.
Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Just, if you need a day to prep for your shots, that's fine. But when everybody shows up, ready to go, hit record and just crush, then go home and shave your head.
Right.
That's what I did. Seriously.
Is that when
we did I Choose Revenge with me with long hair, and that night I got home at like 4 a.m. and I was like, shave my head.
Well, you know what? You need to do another video now
to grow my hair back.
No, it's quite
I enjoyed it, man. I had fun doing it because if it's 20 years Killjay's been together, I've never gotten to visually, in an official capacity, represent Killjay on film. Well, I have in the audio medium a lot. I have in the live medium a lot, but never that way, and it's fun.
Every artist, musician, and writer will be lying if they didn't agree to the fact that a song's not complete until you have a video for it. Yeah. I believe that. I've even wanted to go back to all our songs that we maybe at the time were too busy or we didn't have the budget to film videos for. I would like to go back to our earlier records and shoot videos for all those songs. You should,
man, because you always think about stuff like this. Like, you're like me, you're a creator, so you always want to create a thing in your head constantly. It's like
it never stops.
It never stops. And I've come up with some really cool ideas for Killjay videos, but we didn't have the resources or the money to do them.
You pitched me one time an idea for a Killjay video that I wanted to do so badly.
Let me guess. Deal?
No, it wasn't Deal. It was Infection. It was the CG work with the going up and down the veins.
I forgot about that.
I just couldn't. Especially at the time, I couldn't figure out how I could.
And you couldn't pull that off with. It'd be hard to pull that off with makeup too.
Yeah, I mean, if I was George Lucas, I could make it work. But, and that's such a good song, and I would hate for the video to ruin the song because I couldn't execute your dream, and it never happened because of that. But I would have. It was such a great pitch. And the song is to date my favorite Killjay song is Infection.
I'll give you another good one. the late great Barry Sims, R.I.P. He laid out in great detail the video he had envisioned for Rain Down.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember every bit of it. And even though Rain Down's been out for forever and a day, one of these days I'd love to go back and just see if I can complete his vision.
Yeah, I mean, and then here's what the way I talk myself into it, at least, is who says you can't? I mean, society tells me that I can't go back to those early albums and shoot videos too. The industry tells me I can't do that, but why can't you? I mean, why can't you shoot that Rain Down video?
The sky's the limit.
With Barry's,
yeah.
A dream.
Well, let me ask you this, because my perspective and my relationship with my early recordings has changed, and I want to see if you are the same way. When we first did like the Something More album,
yeah,
like I was so married to it, and like it was so much a part of my life and my identity, and like all my money was tied into it, my focus was tied into it, and I was like, this is my baby. And then years and years went by, and we evolved and got hopefully better.
Yeah.
And then you go through this phase where you look back on it in like, I don't want to say disgust, but you're like, we could have done this better. We could have done that better. Like every artist goes through that I've ever talked to. But then if you wait a few more years longer, you go, you know what? It's like a picture. Right. That was a snapshot of where we were then. And you know what? Damn it, I'm proud of the Something More album. It's cute.
The day that
it's adorable.
The day in 1991.
Look at you trying to be a CD.
The day in 1991 when you chose your wardrobe, it was the coolest thing that you had in your closet. And when you had a picture taken,
Vision streetwear pants.
Exactly. Now it is 2000 and
Converse
2020. And you're looking back at these old photos and you're thinking, what was I thinking to wear that day?
Yeah.
There's so many obstacles that you just at least have to consider. For one, is the technology has changed so much. Is like what you could afford to do today, or excuse me, back then, to compared to what you can afford to do today, production wise. Is astronomical. I mean, I think of when we recorded the Kill Jay White album, I was heavily involved in that, and I was. I had the latest gear of the day that I could afford, and to look back at that and see what I have in my home studio now compared to what I had then. Part of me goes, man, I could go back and re-record that, and it would be so much better, but. The question is, will it be better? Because everything plays a role. It's like the attitude you had, the mood you were in, the time, the excitement that you had of that day doesn't exist now.
Yeah.
The insight that you didn't have then played a role in how excited you were to be making an album. I couldn't recreate that if I tried. And so that's what makes those old records really special. It's
because you can look past the flaws at some point and find, like for me, one thing I just rediscovered on those old recordings is my phrasing. Like I didn't know what I was doing, but it worked.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I know what I'm doing now, but I've had professional vocal training, and there's things I would never do now that I did then. But it made it unique, and I was like, I should start doing that again. Mm-hmm. Like, there's things that I would definitely do different, but there's also some things that I could learn from, Mark of 25 years ago.
Absolutely. Well, the same thing with me, too, is like a lot of the things, especially when it comes to phrasing, that I learned, it wasn't because someone set me down and said, hey, Rob, this is what you're doing wrong, or this is what you should try. It was something that I figured out. And it was a unique way that even one of our producers in the early days, Travis Wyrick, he was showing me without telling me. And then I didn't figure out until after the fact. Like, after the record was already done, I'm like, oh.
Now I get
the
it.
bright light turns on. I see what he was telling me. I see what he's showing me now. And, again, that's experience and insight. And there's something, like, I hear people say this all the time. It's not success that makes it great. It's the journey. There's something about your that moment in time, the excitement, the inexperience that make that record great. Mm-hmm. If you ask me, So, the thing is, if I were today, and I'm not opposed to doing this, by the way, so the offer's on the table. If we crank up and re-record the White Album, like every song that's on the White Album.
There's so many people listening to this going, what the hell is the White... Didn't the Beatles release it? Oh. First of all, let me tell you why we called it the White Album. Because we didn't have any money. And we didn't want to use our color printer to print the label. So
CD
we made
cover.
it black and white. It was like a white cover, and it just said Killjoy in black.
So naturally,
so we called it the White Album because we didn't want to use up all our ink.
Exactly. That's when we were making all our own stuff.
Oh, everything was. We were burning our own CDs, putting our own labels on them, and yeah.
If I had it to do, if we started over and said let's re-record every song on the White Album, it would be a killer record, but it wouldn't be the White Album.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if someone says, I don't like it. I like the original.
I like the original better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Killjoy before they sold out.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Before they found Pro Tools.
Well, guess what? I didn't sell out. You can look at what car I'm driving and see that's true. Man, the biggest thing you can do when you release a new... And I think... Correct me if I'm wrong, but like every band starts thinking about the CD release party while they're doing the CD, because that's like the WrestleMania, that's the Super Bowl of the CD.
Right.
That's when you debut it to everybody, your friends, your family, your fans. Talk to me about the CD release party coming up. I'm so excited about it. One, because I'm just excited to get a physical copy of the album. I've bought all of the Sigma 7 albums. I have What Few Remain Volume 1 in my truck right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I bought it from you in Memphis at that show we did. You
remember that.
You tried to give it to me, and I was like, no.
I was like, you're Mark fucking cleaning. You're not buying my CD.
I was like, yes, I am.
You did.
And I can't wait to get this one. And the other aspect, selfishly, I just can't wait to get on a damn stage in front of people and play a damn show.
That's the biggest thing. Now, something that I've never been able to accomplish that happened to happen this time is I haven't been able to actually plan a CD release party and the actual release of the album on the same day.
Yeah. Well, that's hard to do because there's a lot of variables.
And what I've done, minus this song that you can get now on YouTube, The Drowning Within, I've done a really, really good job of keeping this thing hush-hush. So there's been no leakage that I'm aware of. So, and I didn't even, in my opinion, I didn't even choose the best song for the first video. So... but no, that's one thing about the party that I'm excited about. It is the actual first day that the album is going on sale. It's not going to release on Spotify or any of the. It's going to be released that day. So no one's. And here's the other thing that I've never been able to do for whatever reason. Is that our set list for that night is the entire album.
You just read my mind. I swear to you, my next question was going to be, how do you pick your set list for your CD release party? Because you want to showcase the new songs. Obviously, that's why we're here. But you also want to hit the classics that everybody wants to hear.
And it's such a hard thing to do.
Dude, I hate making out set lists.
And the more albums you have under your belt, the harder it is.
Because you're like, oh, what about this song? What about this song? Yeah.
But, I mean, and there's no way on earth that I'm going to do us. Everybody, I've even heard someone say this. Your CD release is about you and your band. I'm like, well, no, is it really? No, it's about our friends that help us get here. So, I mean, I immediately, you were the first person I called. I was like, Killjoy has to be a part of this. And then we recently, we connected with our great friends, and I always said that Jackson, Tennessee, is like we feel more at home in Jackson than we do in Tupelo sometimes because they really took us in. So our friends from Jackson, Cage and Elliott's coming down, and then our really good friends that we just played a show with not that long ago that we had to jump on stage with us via Novus. We love those guys. Those guys. There was an immediate connection. We felt like we'd known each other for years, and I just met them that night. There's so many other bands. Affliction of the Absence going to be with us again. All our best friends.
Oh, really? I didn't know Affliction was going to be there.
So it's going to be.
Was that on the
bands.
flyer?
It's going to be. Yeah, it's on the flyer. 5 bands, $10 cover. You can't beat it. It's going to be the new album by Sick and Seven plus Killjoy, Cage and Elliott, Via Novus, Affliction of Absent. It's going to be one. I mean, it's the thing is we've been neglected of having any rock shows since February. And now here's one that has all the best bands in one night.
And I'll say two things really cool about this venue is, one, we're not really restricted by time. So if you really stack the deck on this, but you've got time to let it breathe. It's like, hurry up, get on stage. You got 20 minutes, 6 songs, get off, go, next man. Like you can have that moment to breathe. Yeah. And 2, it's such a big open room. And this is going back to, the COVID stuff we talked about. If you don't feel comfortable being close to people, this is almost an outside show, but it's inside. This room is huge. And you can easily socially distance with your mask on and feel comfortable.
It wasn't my first choice venue. However, it's the perfect venue because I knew it's wintertime, so I knew I couldn't be outside.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to have a room that was big enough. And the staff at VFW was just so accommodating. And now they're even now. And I can't fail to mention this. I'd be amiss if I did. But our main sponsor for the evening is Madhouse Inc. and their party Madhouse bus is going to be on location that night. So their staff, Justice and Ty, will be actually doing tattoos on site in their bus, and they're like licensed on the state, so they can literally take their bus anywhere in the state.
And I've been on board this bus before. It is legit.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen.
Dude, it's tight.
It looks amazing.
It is tight. Like I'm talking about hardwood floors. Mm-hmm. Like all the chairs are matching. All the machines are clean and sterile. And this, like sometimes if you think like tattoo bus, you're like you're thinking about the buses I used to go get tattoos in, which were a little shady. But no, this is legit. This is nicer than a majority of the tattoo parlors I've been in. And if you've seen my arms lately, you'll know I've been in a few.
And their work is indescribable. Yeah. How amazing their art is really, really good. So we're happy to have them sponsor us. Then the staff at the VFW in the big open room, plenty of room to social distance. And so this is going to be one heck of a night. It's going to be the biggest night of the year. And I can easily say that because of COVID, but this is going to be
you're right. I agree.
Night of the year. You don't want to miss this.
You gave you played the commercial in the first break,
right?
And that was the first time I'd heard it. And kudos, is a great commercial. But I had a spit out your beer moment because I was taking a gulp of beer, and you were like, "What did you say? Local legends, local legends." It's like if I was a legend, my back wouldn't hurt as bad as it did.
Mark.
My knees wouldn't click when I walk.
Yeah,
I feel pretty rough for a damn legend.
Legend doesn't mean old. The thing is like, Killjoy is that tree that has withstood every storm that has wiped out so many other bands.
The one that everybody wants to cut down. We need to get rid of that tree. Really, it looks horrible, but yeah, it's there.
I mean, you're an inspiration to me. You're an inspiration to so many more that you don't see, and you guys are legends, no doubt. I said that without hesitation.
Well, I'm not good at anything else, including this, and I'm really stubborn. So that's all you need. Just don't quit.
Yeah.
Everybody else will eventually.
That's where the
just
lyric,
wait them all out.
The lyric was for me, not for you, but in the lyric in the Drowning Within, it says, "I survive by never knowing when to break," and that's why I'm still here, is because I'm too stubborn to break. When you love it more than you love money, when you love it more than you love money, you'll still be here, whether you make money or not.
True words have never been spoken. And I have to quote the late, great Bobby Plaxico. He made a statement to me one time that I didn't get when he said it. It took me a little while later for it to make sense. But we were backstage at the New Daisy Theater fixing to play a show, and I think there was another big show going on in town that night, and so I wasn't expecting a good turnout. And he was like, "Man, this is going to be an awesome show." I was like, "Yeah, ain't nobody going to be here." And he goes, "Dude, I play music for selfish reasons." Yeah. And I was like, huh. And it just didn't set in. And then later I was like, oh, what he meant was, you got to do it for you and hope everybody else likes it. And if they don't, you're still okay because you made you happy.
Exactly.
Like, I want everybody in the world to listen to Kill J.
Right.
But a lot of them aren't going to. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But like when I go to release a record or a video or a song, I want it to be so good that if nobody likes it, I'm okay with that.
Well, I think true writers, they write about themselves, and to a certain degree, if they're not writing about themselves, they're writing about something super personal. And if it's personal to you, you can't have an expectation that it's going to be personal to somebody else. So if your band ever got any acknowledgement whatsoever, consider yourself lucky. Because
that is so weird, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
You're lucky nobody listens to your music.
Consider yourself lucky because, it doesn't matter if it connects with someone else or not, because it wasn't about that. It was about you letting out.
But when it happens, you love it.
Of course.
Like, it's great.
That's the perk, I guess but when it becomes the expectation.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because then you try to please everybody, and everybody's different.
Exactly.
How's that even possible?
Yeah. And I think artists become artists when they finally are an artist for themselves.
Yeah.
And not for the notoriety.
But what's so weird about it is most artists seek that approval, secretly or openly.
Right.
They do seek that approval, but to be a true artist, you have to be to where you're not that way.
Exactly.
So you're forever conflicted.
Forever.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is all of us artists are crazy. Okay, we're insane.
If I can put it, here's this thing: is an artist needs your approval, whether you think so or not. So if you're a fan, let them know you're a fan. If you think it rocks, let them know it rocks. But you, as an artist, don't expect any approval.
Yeah,
because the only approval it needs is your own.
And have thick skin.
Yeah, well,
there's a bunch of haters out there on the internet.
This day especially, the thing is like back in the day, it's like you can have a ton of haters, but they wouldn't say it out loud. Or
nowadays they'll let you know more of the people that like it.
Matter of fact, you hear more negative than you hear positive.
Although I gotta say, knock on wood, so far, which y'all's numbers are eclipsing ours in a lot of ways, but our ratio from likes to dislikes is not bad. It's like 100 to 1.
Yeah, that's great. I think
because the haters are usually louder than the likers.
Oh, I know that I watch some videos, and I think this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's great in every way, and I would just be blown away. And I'll look, and it has something, I don't know, I'm making these numbers up, but it had like 13 million views.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then they'll have like
3,000 likes,
3K dislikes. But I'm like, well, you gotta. How could 3,000 people not like this? This doesn't make any sense in my brain.
That too, but also, how could 12 million people listen to it and only like 3,000 like it.
That's what I think. It's
Like, speak up if you like it. Let them know.
Well, people,
hit that like button.
People would rather spend more time on things they don't like rather than spend times on the things that they do like.
That's true, because they'll analyze the stuff they don't like.
That's the thing is most people is when they see something they like, oh, that's cool. And you know what they do then? They move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
They don't comment, they don't like, they don't share, they don't. It's rare that it does happen. But if you don't like something, God, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Just wait just one moment. I got to comment on it.
Let me take an hour out of my life
about something I don't like when it takes a few seconds to like something that you do. Our society is so twisted in that respect.
My attitude is, if you don't like what you're seeing, you ain't got to look.
That's my opinion. There's other videos on YouTube. You don't have to sit there and troll mine.
Man. Well, as always,
but your ratio is what you are looking at, and the thing is if you have 100 to 1, you won. That's it.
Yeah, especially in this day and age on the internet.
That's
if you've got for every 100 likes, 1 dislike, how could you ask for more?
That's right. But the December 18th, Friday night, Aberdeen VFW Big Room, sponsored by Madhouse Inc. Make sure you're there. It's only $10. Look, I haven't seen a show in 2020 where you can catch 5 bands for $10. So it's a chance for you to come out.
That's like $2 a band.
Exactly.
That's a pretty good deal.
So not only watch the Drowning Within music video on YouTube, just type Seeking 7 to Drowning Within, but also make sure you type in Kill J. They got a brand new video, I Choose Revenge. Dude, your video is sick.
Thanks, man.
Really is.
We had a good time doing it.
Yeah.
But now I've got like the taste for blood. I'm gonna do another one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already thinking about the next thing. I know you always do that.
All right. So this turns out I have to bring this up. This is their first official video, but I shot a video for Kill J that never
The Face of Regret
that never made it through.
And I liked that video.
I still have it. We can still do it.
The whole band quit or got fired right after we shot it.
Yeah. So it's just sitting there in my
it's just
archive.
Like,
but there is another video out there, and it's really good.
It is.
We just didn't do. Yeah, it's
I
really,
agree.
really good.
It's really good.
Did
it's before I got like super fat too, so I'm really proud of it.
I did the editing all the way up to my part. I said, "Here's the band action shots. All we have now left is the drama parts." So we were analyzing how we're going to shoot the drama scenes, but then that's when everybody quit and shit.
Yeah. Well, me and you have talked about this a lot. It's like once you spend money on a band, whether it's like paying for a photo shoot or going to get an album done or paying for a video,
every time
it's like the lineup changes and you're like,
every time.
So you just have to go with,
That's another podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast, and there's a reason it's been 20 years since we put out a videos, because it's just been the stars.
Well, I tell you, when you find
even if it was just one star that didn't align, there's been the stars just didn't align. It wasn't for a lack of want to or effort.
Dude, I remember back in 05 or 06 when you were knocking at my door and saying, "Hey, Rob, shoot us a video," and I'm like, "I don't know how." You're like, "Yeah, you do." You're doing it.
Dude,
anyway.
we did a video for the Darkest Hour.
I remember that. That's what happened.
It was adorable.
The gig got turned down because I
wish I could find it. Like, I don't want anybody else to see it, but I'd like to see it.
Let me give you another trivia. No, this really happened. The very first YouTube video I ever watched in all my life was The Darkest Hour.
That video that we made?
Yes. I was like, what is this YouTube video?
It's not out there now.
No,
I don't know.
Gone.
I don't have a copy of it. Nobody I know has a copy of it.
It must have got taken down somehow. But it was on YouTube.
Probably from just lack of interest.
I don't doubt it. No, it was a good video.
It was adorable. It was like, oh, look at y'all trying to make a video, you little shits.
Great.
I don't know what you're doing.
It. I was like, and then, that was my introduction to all of YouTube was that video. That's how
Wow.
long ago it dates. It dates that long.
I don't even know what year that was, dude.
Yeah. It hadn't been 04, maybe even sooner.
No, it was sooner than that. It had been
03
before
maybe.
that. But as always, it's a pleasure to have you here live in the studio.
Man,
it's always nice to hang out with you, whether
honor
we're
for me.
podcasting or we're recording or we're shooting a COVID concert at your house, or we're cooking out, or no matter what we're doing, it's always a pleasure. And if I'm not mistaken, is this going to be a real pop culture first? I think you said we're going to try to publish this episode tonight.
I'm definitely going to edit it, so it's up to you from there.
Well, it's actually a little bit up to my internet, depending on how big the files are.
But you have an episode before us that you still have to release.
No, I'm going to do that later. It's this late. It's sort of like if you're an hour late for work, you're like, I'm going to stop at McDonald's and get me a biscuit. Because like my boss is going to be more mad that I'm an hour and 10 minutes late than an hour late. I need some hash browns, man.
I'm going to say something, but I might get banned from the show. So.
You got to get them hash browns in you before you get to work. If you're an hour late, who cares?
Well, if I'm going to edit it tonight, we got to bid the adieu. But thanks for having me on, Mark.
It's always a pleasure.
Pleasure
Go
for me.
check out the Drowning Within official music video on Seeking 7 TV. Check out the other videos that have all your videos are on.
Yeah, they're all there.
So you didn't do like me and have to create a new YouTube page every time because you couldn't remember the password. Yeah,
That was almost that
smart
almost
on your
happened.
part.
Yeah. I said, let me start building an actual channel. So.
Oh yeah, remind me to ask you that thing about that because you gotta school me on some YouTube stuff. But anyway, December 17th, 18th. That's on a Friday.
December 18th, Friday. Yes,
Be at the VFW in Aberdeen, Mississippi. The address is on the flyer.
it is.
Is it on the commercial?
The dress is not on the commercial, but
We'll drop you a pin.
But I did say the VFW Aberdeen Post 4490. So if you Google that into your maps, it's going to take you right there.
So there's so many VFW posts in Aberdeen that this one is 4490.
There's
440. There's that many
There's that many.
in
There's
Aberdeen.
only one in Aberdeen.
Oh, okay. Because you said Aberdeen Post 4490.
449.
Don't go to 4489.
No.
You ain't gonna see no Seeking 7 Killjoy at 89. You go to 90. That's where you
You're
get that
there.
honey.
And show starts at $6, $10.
You want that honey? You go to the 90.
And while you're at it, make sure you visit Killjay's YouTube site and check out their new video for their amazing song, I Choose Revenge.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 147 of Real Thanks so much for listening to episode 147 of Real Pop Culture. We've been broadcasting live from high atop the first and only floor of the Killjay headquarters at the Killjay Ranch. Love you, bye.